Yo, welcome to Blackopolypse. We're in for a treat today. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be a treat. My homeboy, Nigel. Yeah, welcome, Nigel. Welcome.
No.
Oh, let me just turn on notifications. Oh, we're getting started. Notifications off. Yes, Nigel. What's going on, man?
Oh, boy, what's going on? Is you lucky I'm here, man. Damn,
You're tired? You're falling asleep? Yo, trust me, I fell asleep too, Miles.
Been up since 4 o'clock, man. I just got up and just started working, and to be fair, it hit me about 5:30, and
yeah, that's it, man.
Roll on an hour. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I was the same. I was actually conked out for a bit on the couch for about 30 minutes. I was like, sack this. It was all comfortable and that. I was like, I was gone.
I'm going to bed when I come off here, man.
Really?
Me, man. Seriously, I'm going to my bed. Bedtime.
So Simon's gonna join us. I'm waiting for Andrew, man. He didn't get him back in touch. I'm gonna have to write him and say, yo, because he was telling us something about last week. He started the story. He didn't even finish it, did he?
Yeah, he had some story about about your topic today, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing, because I wanted him to finish his story. I'm gonna see. Let me see if I can write him. Send him a message quickly. Say, yo, blows,
right me, man, right me.
Come and join the. Let me see. Let's see. You coming? Look, so you coming, fam. Anyway, thank you for anyone who's listening, who's joined us. I don't know. Have you got YouTube open?
No, not yet.
Let me check. I'll check. I'll check if anyone's in. Got 2 likes, but I'm guessing. I can't even see. Oh, one person. Oh, it's just me. Just me. Just me, myself, and I. Yeah, we got two fans. Me and you.
I think because Graham might jump on later, our cousin. So
okay.
Well,
that's cool.
The thing is, though, it's one of those, isn't it? I told him about 4:30, 5. So
actually, I've got to apologize because we actually had a guest today, and I completely overshot it.
What you say?
We had a guest. I'm gonna see if I can tell her to come on next week. The thing is, when these guys are like, yeah, man, I can come on. They give me a date so far in the future, and I'm just like, okay, the guest. And I put it in my calendar. I put it, but I don't get any notifications because I think I turned them all off. To be fair, so
why don't you do what I do and keep one note on your device and have it as the podcast guests? And what you do, you put all the dates in, and as they give you a date, you just put their name next to it. So before you know it, you've got all the dates filled.
Yeah, that's right, man. I'm sure about it. Just quick touch on the two topics that obviously keep us busy at the moment. This stupid presidential election. I'm not sure, man. This geezer, this Biden guy. When I heard that he's putting John Kerry in, I was like, John Kerry. I was like, is that guy still alive? I was like, is that guy still alive?
Mate, man, like I said, man, it's fossils looking after fossils. So
I'm like, John Kerry, man. You see, John was the. I'm sure he was going against Bush, didn't he? He went up against Bush. And I'm like, hold on a second. John Kerry, 1943. Had to lose my background. 1943. This kid was born. Let's way into his what? Yo,
73. He's older than that.
Yo, 83. Sorry, yeah. 70, 77. 77, man. And I'm like, what is he? He's got no business in politics. He's got no business. Okay, he probably does a good job. I can understand the only reason he's in it is because he can do a good job.
Well, the thing is, though, what you got there is same old, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone, and I don't really follow politics, and obviously if Simon comes on, he can probably put us right, but same old. What's going to happen now is everything that Trump did, my man will reverse.
Yeah, sure.
They'll spend time and money overturning stuff. We'll go and do the climate thing again. But nothing's going to really change. What's going to change? America going to bring all their troops home from all around the world in all these other countries? No. Are they going to, are they going to stop? They're going to reduce their spending on defense? No. They're going to stop selling guns? No. Same old, man. I'll tell you what you should be watching, though. I'll tell you what would be interesting to find out is how much money. What do you call him? 45. I don't know why you call him 45.
That's Tanya. Tanya used to call him 45.
I don't know how much money 45 has made based on his time in the office, based on the legislation and rules that he's passed, based on what he's pushed through legislation. Follow the money, man. It'd be interesting to find out.
I heard he got. So I heard that he signed for that 81 million from his campaign, put into his private investments. 81 million.
Probably has.
Criminal, man. Yo, he's a criminal mind.
Yo, can I just jump in here because I know a thing or two about this. This has captured me.
So wait there. Tell us why John Kerry's got back in. Why is John Kerry there, man?
Listen. This is not a John Kerry thing. This is the old guard. This isn't a John Kerry thing.
It's an old guard. Look across. Same old.
It's messed up. It's messed up. It's messed up because there's two things that were going to happen before, after Obama and also after Trump, and it's going to be that you need to have some kind of cure. If you're a believer that Trump is this antichrist, then you need to have a cure. And I know that what they've been doing is sort of hedging their bets and saying, let's just do what's safe. Let's go back to what people know. Let's go back to establishment. Well, that's what people felt disenfranchised by anyway, and what people felt frustrated by Obama for. The fact that it was career diplomats doing very simple shuffles, very incremental change, nothing really happening. And people have just, after Trump, that is not good. They've had this sugar high, even though it's not always a good high, it's craziness, and they're not going to be out. They need to see change. I think what would have been really good now is if the progressives could have done something, or across the bench, like new legislation, brave legislation being brought in, or decisive action on the pandemic, or something to show that, hang on, we can galvanize as a country. But what's happened now for people who voted for Trump, and even people on the left who are completely crying out for social justice and that, nobody's going to see any of that. It's literally
nothing's going to change.
To tears.
Same old. All they've done is they've changed the name of the party, and it's the same people in charge. And this is, and I suppose, and I think this kind of boils back to why I kind of disillusioned with politics, and why I roll my eyes when people are passionate about it, because I hear more passion, more want from normal people, more evolution from normal people than I do from politicians. And from when it was for me, really, you got one old man versus another old man, battle of the dinosaurs. I just thought to myself, you know something? Look, America's a joke. You know what I mean? That's a huge country with all of that technology, all them clever
Sources,
people, and the best they can come up with is a prehistoric dinosaur or a prehistoric dinosaur. Mate, the place is a joke, and to think they think they're the state leaders of the world. Nah. This is a young person's world now. It's not for fossils, man.
Well, that's what I was saying about people want change, and they should have been brave in the people that are. It should have been people. See, the difference between what, say, Obama would have done and Trump would have done is Obama would have, especially probably through fear of being judged, he would have brought in people who were.
Oh, sorry, deception.
Simon's single man. I forgot all about his Wi-Fi.
Like he put in case, like ridiculous. But what we actually needed is always move. Like, is it bad?
Wait, now it's all right. It's all
right now.
Okay, so what I was saying is, what you actually need is brave people. You need people who are going to pass brave laws, and you need the untried but the qualified, and not complete lose.
I don't think they've got the stomach for it, mate. I really don't.
There's people who have though, but they're not given the chance.
There's people who have, but you know something? Them people will never run that country. You know the person who had, the person who had all that we just said there. They just voted him out, even though he was a wrong gun.
Add it from the left. Yeah, add it from the left with people like Bernie Sanders and stuff like that.
That's true. Yeah.
The only problem is with Bernie is that he would have been one of the oldest as well. So he was
that's what I'm saying. But the thing they just had someone who, even though he was a dim sum, they just had someone who was so, far removed from what we're used to. The old politicians speaking about one word for 2 hours and still not making any sense. The man was a dim sum, and he managed to alienate and really shift and polarize opinions. Well, you know something? At least he stood for something. The rest of them.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I wanted to quickly move on because I want to get into the main topic today. But the guys are dinosaurs. Anyway, I'm just reading. Just wanted to quickly touch on COVID too, man. England arrivals to be able to quarantine with private tests. From the 15th of December, you don't have quarantine. You can only quarantine for 5 days if you take a test. The cost of the test is between £65 and £120. Criminal.
No, profit. It's about money, not about criminals. It's about the fact that capitalism dictates that, those who, it's a 2-tier system, in it. You want to move, you go Alton Towers, you want to get to the front of the queue, buy a VIP ticket. You want to come back from holiday, want to get in quicker, pay for it. Who's getting that money? Who's getting that money? Who's getting that money? Who's getting that money? Ain't going to the NHS.
Yeah, it's a private company called.
Of course, it is.
And
who gave them the contract? Who said to them?
Is it the vaccine or you're on about for a test?
Just a test.
Yeah, just who have they spoken to in the government who's given them the green light to be able to give someone who's coming to the UK the green light not to be in quarantine? So that's a contract that's been awarded by somebody in power. You say, yeah, man, make sure I get my little backhander as well off the back of it. So that's profit. The whole reason that this thing is a joke, because like I said way back when, people shouldn't be making money out of this pandemic, but they are.
Yeah, that's lunacy, man. I can't believe what I'm seeing here.
Looks like I'll be staying in the UK for a long time then.
And it comes under business law, which is the worst thing. It comes under business on the BBC website. I can't believe it, man. I can't catch my breath.
They're just as bad as well. But anyway, that's another story.
Okay.
Anti-establishment, man.
So what we got today then, lads?
I don't know. My topic is I want to talk to. Actually, this is like a Nigel biography, man. Because Nigel, last week we asked Nigel.
My biography,
It's your biography, man. It's world biography. We asked Andrew started telling us the story last week about I don't know. Went on to say something about he wanted to be white when he was young, And Nigel said, "You want to be white?" And I was like, "Yeah, I wanted to be white too when I was young." And Nigel was like, he never wanted to be white. And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Okay, Nigel, we're gonna ask you 101 questions today to prove
you can ask me a whole heap of questions, man.
We're gonna prove to you."
Yeah,
but can I
mate,
you know something as well? I never wanted to be white either. There's not
thank you, Simon.
I remember one thing actually, and I remember there's one incident, yeah, and I guess this is probably what Wayne's trying to say. There's got to be a time, and I can remember a time, but I can't remember a period in my life. And let me just tell you about this one time. I was at this under-18s dance in Maryhill, and then I was looking
Queens.
And he was older.
No, I can't remember what it was called, man. But there was just the most amount of girl in there, and I was like, "Yo, I need one of these girls." I was about 15, and I was happy, and someone had snuck me a bit of alcohol in there, so I was a bit too happy, and I was trying to get on all these girls, and all the girls I thought were nice weren't interested, but I was getting chased around by a load of girls that weren't interested. But all the girls I liked, like these Westlife looking guys. It was that time where everyone had to have the blonde curtains, and you know what I mean. And,
mate, well, let me just break that myth for you right now. So you was 15. So let's come forward 20 years. I bet Mr. Westlife looks like a face like a back ass of a baboon now because he ain't held up well. And look how you're looking all young and only look 5 years older than 15. So who got the raw deal, man?
Yeah, I mean,
them same gals you were chasing probably look the same.
Yeah, that's true too, man. Yo,
you know, the maddest thing is, like I say, that was the only. I'm saying from any other point of view, I never ever wanted to be anything. I don't know if it's because I'm mixed race, so I didn't feel like I had to excuse myself. So if I was listening to Depeche Mode, I didn't have to excuse myself. Or if I was listening to Shabba Ranks, I ain't got to excuse myself. I kind of got away with it. I don't know if it's the same. I've never been full black or full white, but I don't know if it's the same. If you're full black thinking, I just want to get a bit of Barry Manilow on and that and not feel ashamed.
It's not about that. No. This is what I want to.
Proud of my blackness.
I want
to.
I want to roll back. I want to roll back the time a little bit, and I can prove to Nigel now. I'm gonna prove it in this next.
Mate, you ain't got Wayne. The thing is,
he's got Trump evidence. Man's got Trump evidence. You know.
I'm gonna release the Kraken.
Wait. What you got to remember is you haven't lived my life.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying.
You haven't lived. You haven't lived my environment. Yeah, but you haven't. Yes. You haven't lived my environment. You haven't.
Okay, let's get out to nitty gritty. Okay. Let's get out to nitty gritty. Okay, so you started out your life. Yeah, you started out your life in England, correct? England.
I mean, so I bloody hope so.
Okay, and when you was little, and I'm talking, I don't know how far back you remember, but I'm telling you, the first 5.
He remembers it in black and white. I can imagine
before. I'm pretty damn sure that before you was 10, at some point you probably stood there and thought to yourself, "I want to be white." Guarantee it. I did it. Andrew did it.
But you're not me.
Yeah, now look. So somehow, when you was a little kid, did you like any superheroes when you were young?
Yeah, I like cartoons. I like all kinds of stuff.
Okay, and when they were representing the human, what color were they? He-Man. What color is He-Man? What color was He-Man?
He-Man's yellow.
He-Man's yellow, dude.
He wasn't white. He went white.
Yellow hair, man.
The color of him. It was bad colors back then, man.
Scooby-Doo. What color Scooby-Doo's people?
Scooby-Doo was a brown dog with a bunch of white friends.
What color were the people representing Scooby-Doo?
But you didn't want to be the dog. I actually hated Scooby-Doo, by the way, but carry on.
Okay, so what did you like? What did I
like? Bloody hell. Danger Mouse, Batfink, Battle of the Planets, Terrorhawks.
Okay.
The Green Lantern.
Green Lantern was the cartoon representing a black person? Because normally Green Lantern was actually a black guy.
Yeah, the Chinese guy and the white guy in there.
Okay, that was white. Okay,
well, so I don't get your point. No, I'm still.
Okay, wait, dude. slowly. Okay, so you was watching all these cartoons. And you thinking, all these guys are white. Okay, good, white people. Then you went to school. Then you went to school.
Yeah.
Then you went to school.
Yeah.
Did you go to a white school or predominantly black school?
White school was probably 97% white.
Okay.
So maybe even 98%.
I'm talking about because this is where mine and your past changes. The school I went to, they were all Indian or black. I went to Indian black schools. So You went to all
which
white
makes
school, so
which makes you even thinking that even worse.
No. What? Okay, when you was little, all your friends. What color were all your friends? Okay, you had no white friends.
White friends till I was probably in the last year of junior school.
Okay, so like 10 or 11. So
and then growing up, most of my friends was black.
Okay, so when you used to, did you raise him, like, would you consider your upbringing as a rich kind of upbringing or like a poor kind of upbringing? So in poverty or more closer to like middle class wealth?
I'd say that we were on the breadline like everybody else, but we found a way to
not
survive.
everybody else. Not everybody else.
Mum always worked. I know that much.
Okay.
So I always had food, always had clothes. I wouldn't say we was rich, but we weren't as poor as some.
Okay. And then you had you saw families too.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, there was more families where the white person had a dad and a mum together.
Yeah, kind of, I suppose.
But we know that we didn't really have that kind of privilege growing up.
The thing is, though, at that age, I wasn't really kind of caring, if that makes sense, because if he was there, he was there. If he wasn't.
Did you never care when you was like I'm talking about pre-10 years old? You never cared that you didn't have a dad?
To be fair, at pre-10, I mean, let me think, we was in the house. Look, man, Mr. Birch would come and go. Mr. Birch would come and go, so I'd see Mr. Birch, and I probably wouldn't see him for a year or two. So, to be fair, it was the norm. It was the kind of, oh, Dad's here. Oh, Dad's not here. One boy, be back. Oh, Dad's back here. Oh, he wasn't the man to walk you to school every day and you know what I mean. Dad was a wanderer, man. You know what I mean. So yes, there was a dad, but was he a central part of my life? Not really. When he was there, I suppose it was good, but when he wasn't, it wasn't like a case of me going, "Oh, where's my dad? I miss my dad," because there was nothing to really miss apart from him making a couple of jokes. So I still don't get your point.
Yeah. So wait. So you never looked across the street and saw Billy with his mom and dad going away on holiday at Christmas, in the summer, going on summer holidays, having fun, getting all the luxuries.
I had fun. Luxury. I had luxuries. Luxury for me was life. So I'm saying you got a different life to me. Look, if you're focusing on materialism as to why you wanted to feel like you wanted to be white,
after 10, I mean before 10,
mate, you're crazy because
wait, but you're thinking now. I'm talking about when you're 10. You don't think. If I look at my daughter now, all she thinks about is what can I get? What can I get?
That's because, mate, we're in a different world now. Because all these kids know that they've got all these. Look, man, you would never have been given £500 to play around with, but you're happy to buy someone a mobile phone. You know what I mean? It's a different world. Well, what I'm saying to you right now, mate, I've never ever wanted to be white, and I'm trying to work out how you can prove to me that I did. And I'm thinking, come on, man, come at me.
Okay,
ask me a real proper question. Simon, you still there?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just.
I can't believe these limp old questions this boy's coming out with. Why don't you tell us why you wanted to be white?
Look, I want because what I'm doing, I'm basing all the experiences that I had, which were probably the same experiences you had, apart from the fact that I had a lot of predominantly black friends too. Funnily enough, because I went to black schools, and the name was I grew up in Handsworth.
I did have black friends.
Yeah, listen.
When I grew up, because we had a common enemy, which at the time was NF and a lot of racism, the 5 or 6 black families that lived in our estate, actually, we all got on. We all linked up. We all mixed.
I can see now why you would say you never was, actually, because you had when you was, what year was you born? 75, 76?
74.
Yeah, that was just 1 year after the 73, which was a prominent year about joining the EU, when black people actually started getting kind of some rights in England.
But mate, you know something? I remember being at school at 15 and thinking, damn, I'm not going to get a job. Because all I could see amongst the black youth and black people was unemployment. But in my own mind, I said to me, but I don't have to be like them. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure I get a job. And I did have like 3 or 4.
Yeah, but look, when you've come up, obviously in the 70s, when England was pretty, compared to the 80s, because the only reason I could understand why you would say you never felt like you wanted to be white, as opposed to me, I was born in the 80s. So when I was getting older and like getting my conscience, it was close to the 90s. And then I was like, oh man, look at these white guys, man. They got everything. They're having a good life. They got mom, dad there. They go on holidays, go on trips. They're never hungry. They're never locked outside, you know. Everything's good. And I'm at home like, man, I got nothing.
Yeah, but mate, you say everything's good, right? Let me tell you a story about your perception of what everything's good looks
Yeah, but
like.
I was 7 or
So
6.
I'm gonna tell you something now, right? I know of at least 5 or 6 people who I went to school with who everything was good, and mom and dad took them on holiday, and they had this and they had that, and they had money and had everything. Do you know that them same people, their mom and dads aren't together anymore, or
No,
mom
I'm
or
not talking
dad
about
turned
that.
into a no, listen. Turned into alcoholic, or blah blah. Years later, abuse stories have come out. So the thing is, you're looking at other people and you're wanting, and you're thinking, oh, I want. Mate, don't ever look at anybody else's life and think it's better than yours, because everything's a smoke screen, man.
Well,
It's
yeah,
a smoke
sure.
screen, and that's materialism you're talking about there. Now, not being funny, why on earth would you want to be another colour for materialism? What? So
Yeah,
you
the
got
thing
more
is,
money? Does that make you
yeah, but
happy?
no. But what I'm trying to do
Come on,
is
man.
if we
Come
stay
on,
on the
man.
topic,
I'm on a topic,
when
man.
you're under 10, when you're younger than 10, you have a different mindset. Simon, what did you want when you was 10? Was you like, oh man, I'm going to be spiritual, I'm going to go find Jesus, I'm going to be a Hindu? 10.
No, I'll be honest here. I did feel frustration, but the thing I want would have been a struggle for anybody, because I wanted to be a pilot. So I knew that when I wanted to be older, that I wanted to study to be a pilot. But to be honest, unless you've got money anyway, you're not going to be a pilot. It's just,
and that's white or black. You know what I mean? A pilot. You know what I mean?
It's $100,000, you know.
But,
So
but the thing is, you had that aspiration, and that's what I'm saying. You can aim high and go high. A lot of people aim high and they decide to go low.
I think in England, yeah, like I think it's hard, isn't it? Because I think I get why people have got like opposing views in terms of like how serious a problem it is. You know, like say what during all these Black Lives Matter protests that we had every right for people to stand up in this country and say, look, we don't like what's happening. But really what we're saying is we don't like what's happening in America, because even though it's happening here, it's happening to a much, much lesser extent. So that by definition, we got targeting by police, but that traffic stop, say for instance, looks a lot different in America than it does here. So it's all about everything. But you look at politics even now; it's just on a different scope.
But you know something. But even the stopping of the use, even the stopping by the police, right? I mean, you know, and I'm not going to justify the amount of people they stop, but there's a reason for it. We're seeing black youths being killed and stabbed and maimed by other youths of colour. You ain't going to go and stop a bunch of white guys and say, "Oh, you're responsible for these black crimes." You know what I mean? It's like if it was in Nigeria now, and the police was investigating and they were stopping black youths, what would we say then? Oh, well.
But the problem is with that argument, though, and I get what you're saying, though. Sorry to cut your knife. Is what you're talking about. Like, say black people shooting each other. You say like their head's been ripped off the top of a plant. So if you want to get to the root of the problem, what you do is you take out the roots of those problems instead of taking off more tops of heads. You know what I mean? So
how do you take out the root though?
Because the systemic problems why these things exist, and that is what I think we have got a right to complain about. Like this.
Yeah, but the thing is though, if someone's a criminal now, I hear what you're saying, because you're talking about circumstance and all that, mate. By the time they're a criminal, it's too late to go back and say, well, let me see if I can sort out this and sort out that. The thing is, for that change to take place, it's got to be, like you say, from cradle right through, and you're going to miss a whole generation.
And the problem is, a lot of people miss, when we talk about intervention, Nigel, and this is what I hear all the time, people talking, let's do reactive policing proactive instead of reactive. The truth of the matter is, if you don't actually change the living conditions and what those environments look like in the first place, then you're not going to address any problem. If you fix up and you put a load of community workers into a rough ends where it's beat down and there's no opportunities there and there's nothing for the kids to do, then you might like nullify the problem while you've got those, say, street protectors or street angels or what you want to call them in places in London and everything like that, these community pastors or
the thing is, right, I think, look, right, at the end of the day, the kids now, they live on a different set of rules, different morals to us. I know, but the way they carry on, we used to see that kind of thing, but it was from older kids, 19, 20, 21. Now it's like 13, 14, whatever. The intervention and all them things there. You got to remember, it's not only poor kids who do crime. It's not only people who've got no money who do crime. There's plenty of people who have come from rich families who've gone and committed heinous crimes. So, you can't always link it to, oh, well, this man's got no money, so we've got to kind of think of how we can help him and support his. Like, someone's bad. We can't keep giving people excuses. There's people. Right,
I disagree.
look, man, I know people who come. Go on then. How do you disagree? Then go on.
I'll tell you why I disagree.
Yeah, I like that.
You've got no reason. You got no reason to do a crime if your needs are met. You have no reason.
Okay then. Look, how do you excuse things like rape then and paedophile?
Okay, this is different. Isn't this kind of this?
No. Well, you said crime. You said crime.
I'll tell you how this. I'll tell you. Okay. Look, if someone's getting enough gash, I'm trying not to be. If someone's getting enough, you can't justify that though. You can't say it about. Well, the thing is, no. Wow, the thing is,
and there's plenty of that's not true as well. Plenty of rich men who have got women falling at their feet. You only have to look at Jeffrey Epstein. You tell me that Jeffrey Epstein is a multi-billionaire.
It's that power thing, though.
You can't justify that.
But he wanted gal. You know what I mean? And that's where his problem was. It made him. Like you say. I don't agree. I don't buy into that at all. Rich people commit crimes all the time. They commit white collar crime, and they also
commit all kinds of crimes, man.
Yeah, they like to be in the gutter. Some people who are rich fantasize about gutter life because they don't know anything other than rich eyeballing. You've got these CEOs of these rich companies who want to go and pay a mistress and everything like that to blackmail them and beat them up and stamp flipping 6-inch stilettos into their crotch and everything because they used to be in the power people, so they want the power to. But that's what I'm saying. They want power taken away from them.
I can't have this argument of they're poor, therefore it's justified. I know plenty of poor kids who've gone on to do great things.
Sure.
So I'm not hearing that.
Look at Brazil. Look at Brazil.
Yeah.
Look if you're poor in Brazil, look at the repercussions. I'm listening to an ebook at the moment called British. Yeah. British. And she says she was in, she's obviously from Ghana. No, she's half Ghana and half British. And she's like, I felt lost. At a certain age, she felt lost. So she went to move to Ghana. And she was there with her boyfriend in Ghana, who's also Ghanaian heritage, but lived in England. They went there, walking on the beach, and about 6 boys or 6 guys held them up and took the money. Took her belongings, what little she had. Now, she was like, it's really sad that, because of their situation, they have to do this. Because they looked at her, although she's half Ghanaian, she felt like she was Ghanaian, but... Ghanaian, yeah. She felt like she was Ghanaian, and the people looked at her as some rich British person, so they thought we could get something off her because we don't have... Do you know what I mean?
So what they saw then, what they did, they looked past her colour and she just became another statistic. And this is what I'm saying, this holding hands and, man, that's what I'm saying to you, man.
If she had money, if these guys had money, they would have no need, or if they had because remember, all they do is trying to eat. If they had food and money, they wouldn't do that.
The thing is, do you know the 6 guys personally?
No, but what I'm saying is...
No, okay. So
we can eradicate most crime.
You don't, but if you don't know the 6 guys personally, how can you say if they had money? You don't know that they didn't leave that woman, go back to their yard, go back to their yard, distribute cash. They might have done 3 or 4 robberies. They might be living like kings. They might be the only ones driving cars in their village. So you can't. If they had money, they knew right from wrong, then they wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, but I think he was a bill. He would right and wrong.
Look, I can stop this in 2 seconds, bro. The drug dealer who goes through the street, becomes a small-time dealer and ends up on the hard stuff and ends up selling it and then ends up being this international shipper and that and ends up bringing in millions and millions and that. The Al Capones of the world, why didn't they stop? Al Capone couldn't even find places to put his money. He had nowhere else. He was burying it. He was putting literally. He was giving stupid amounts of money away. He had billions because he had banks, bro. Like this is what I'm saying. Like people don't realize the power of these people. Or no, is it Escobar? Sorry, these people. They never stopped. They stopped being criminals. They never stopped. Not because they had to.
But what I'm saying at that level, unless you know them people personally, you can't sit there and say, "Oh, if they had money, they wouldn't have run me." She doesn't know their circumstance. They might have even come from one of the rich parts of Ghana and thought, man, let's see if we can rob some tourists. You don't know. You can't just put a label and say, "Oh, well."
Yeah, but I'm thinking in most cases. Look, actually, they did find the people, and they did find out that they were petty thieves. That's the bit I didn't really need to put in, but they did know the people. Well, they didn't know the people, but the police found them, and they rounded them up. they admitted to robbing another.
They found some likely suspects in me. They probably didn't find the guys, but yeah, go on.
I don't know, because the woman actually said she recognized. She actually said she recognized one of the guys who held her. So, obviously,
we've got a topic, man. Come on, I'm
still
waiting to tell me why I should be.
So actually, you know what? Yeah, forget this stuff. Okay, so your childhood was littered with. Okay, so when you walked out in the street or you went to the shops, who did you see dressing in nice clothes, being able to buy all this stuff? While you're standing there looking left and right, thinking, wait a second, who was it? Was it black people or was it white people?
Both, man.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know where you was. I don't know where you was brought up.
Listen.
I don't know what you was doing.
I know.
You must have been living in like the back end of Newtown or something.
Listen, you was raised in West Bromwich. I was raised in Smethwick.
Oldbury, man, Lion Farm.
Oldbury. Okay. Was this middle class back in the day? Was that ever considered middle class?
What, Lion Farm? Middle class?
Yeah. so what I'm saying to you, and that's what I'm saying. No, well, I don't know listen, I don't know what that was like in the 70s.
Lion Farm was one of the roughest estates in Oldbury, mate.
Yeah,
we had skinheads, we had rockers, we had punks, we had NF, we had muds, we had graffiti, we had high rises, we had wild dogs, we had a lot, mate. To be fair, it was funny. I've actually got a comedy sketch about it, but mate, the thing is, I don't know where. I'm saying, man. Look,
okay, let me carry on. So, okay, and this is what I always say. I do slightly believe you now. I slightly believe you that you didn't. You was probably one of the only few black people who wanted to be.
There's gonna be
that's come down, mate. Listen, that comes to your era.
Dude, listen, most time when you're on topic with these things, you got some really, really good points. This one, I literally feel like you should put it away. I'm putting
no. Hey, dude. Hang on. I'm not finished.
Look, you're not gonna get. Listen, I'm telling you now. I don't know this guy, but I know me, and I know. Look, I'm probably the whitest black guy you ever met at one point in my life, especially like at certain points in my life. People can't tell me that, man. I listen to Depeche Mode, flipping Pet Shop Boys.
I listen to all them tunes.
That's what I'm saying. I was listening to that sort of stuff. I didn't do anything. Hang on, let me just finish. I didn't do anything that was probably deemed black. And I never once wished to be white, except that one example I give you. I never once, and I'm not saying that it's environment. I remember all the things that Nigel remembers. I remember NF. I remember people letting their dogs out onto the street. I remember the mods of rockers and all these things and that. Yeah, I know you know what happens. Like what you're discounting, bro, is the fact that Nigel would have had different people to aspire to. So when you're talking about who was dressing around in suits, as a 7-8-year-old kid, you're not looking at the man with the suits. You're looking at the guy who looks like Mr. T with the big medallion.
My granddad used to dress in a suit. My granddad was one of the smartest black men I know. My granddad used to take me to the shop and say, "What you are, man? Give me 50 pence," and I felt like a king. You know what I'm saying to you? Your perception of the world is different to mine.
Not even that. I see that because remember, look, I didn't have grandparents. I had my mom. That's it. I didn't have grandparents. I didn't have a dad. I didn't have no one on my mom's side, no one on that side. I had a couple of uncles who, regardless of what
your uncles are smooth. Your uncles are smooth, though, man.
Yeah, but there's, just to put it nicely, there's coconut as it comes, or at least where as coconut as comes.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you say, and that there, what you've just said there now, that to me lies the problem, because to even say that, and that's like your uncle. What you mean? Their family, if they got your back, then they can't. There's nothing about them. But I know you're saying.
I want to make points of the day. I want to make points of the day as well. Like what you're missing as well. I think. Sorry, I really think this is a really valid point. What you're describing there, Wayne, is like literally you're saying like you didn't have that like really influential, cool, or really like that black person you could really look up to, because what your mom was doing basically was the hard graft of raising 3 kids or 4 kids or whatever it was at a time where it wasn't easy. So like all you talk about is I didn't have. So you didn't got these things. See the people you aspire to, the people who have got, and when you went to rugby, say especially when you got to a bit older, you seen what middle class living looks like and the ease of how it comes across and everything. And those people were pretty cool, but they're only pretty cool for the same reason when we go to Brazil. Those people are pretty cool because it's different. You know, now as an adult, maybe as a 38-year-old, you might want to now, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, look at your mom as that inspirational black person, because she was the one who raised all them kids. None of you turned out bad.
Sure.
I mean, I'm going to go back to your uncles, man, because I don't really like what you said about them, because at the end of the day, it's like they're people. Now, what you're saying is, because they were acting a certain way, I couldn't aspire to them. Did they have jobs? Were they feeding their families? Were they raising their children?
No. What I'm saying is, no, it's not even that. But like they've said some stuff.
What should they have been for them to be acceptable to you?
Okay,
that to me is like what?
Okay, I mean, they're more like white people, and they act white in their characteristics.
But the thing is, but the thing is, they're black people. If you put them in a room with NF people, they'd still get called the same names as you. So to call them, they're coconut. To me, that's like, what? Really?
Yeah, but the thing is, what I'm saying is,
that, brother.
Yeah. The thing is, for example,
weed and have dreadlocks.
No, they weren't that kind of people. They weren't that kind of black people.
That's what I'm saying. So how can you say that?
Yeah, but the thing is, maybe that's that's probably the people I needed around me though, because at some point in my past, not when I was after 10, I was like, yeah, I'm cool. But I know before 10, I saw that being white gave certain benefits, and at some point I was like, man, if I was white, man, things would be easier. I should be white. Why are we not white? White people have the best stuff. They have a family. They have a place to live. You know, they're comfortable. They get to do stuff. They go to holidays. Christmas.
You're going on like you was homeless, man. The way you're talking. Did your mum not feed? Your mum not buy food and cook for you?
Hey, listen.
You're talking from a survival age, though, man. Like, this is different times. Like, we did see that, man. I was witness to it, especially in rugby, where I remember. I remember one of our mates, a mutual friend, wanted to come to Birmingham once, and Alstallio still lived in rugby, but I was living in Birmingham, and he said, I get to do some shopping while I'm here, man. I can buy my new football stuff and his cricket stuff for the new year. And when we went to the shop, his cricket stuff was like 400-500 quid or something, and he's talking about buying boots. In fact, he bought me some boots or some shit. He bought me shin pads, actually. And I remember saying to him, I couldn't go on this trip because I didn't have no money. And he goes, just get 20 quid, man. Just buy a football or some gloves or something, man. I said, I can't get 20 quid. This geezer did not understand what I meant. Like, he says, you can borrow 20 quid. You can get it off your mum, get it off your auntie. I'm going, no, you don't understand.
You know something? And that's because his parents or his parent or his inheritance or his grandparent who died and left money made sure that everyone got looked after. But, you know, the thing is, if you want to be like someone because of materialism, then you're living a lie.
You don't know at 10, what I'm saying to you is, you don't know at 10 years old the difference between materialism or spiritualism.
I'm not being funny. At 10 years old, why on earth should you know about materialism? The only thing you should be saying is, I won't buy that toy.
You want that toy? Yeah, that's materialism.
I wasn't even thinking about holidays when I was 10. You know, I used to wake up 4 a.m. so I could go out and play football with my friends. So this is the thing.
So what about Christmas? You didn't get nothing for Christmas?
Of course, I got stuff for Christmas, but you got what you got. At the end of the day, it wasn't like, if you didn't, you got what you got. Yeah,
you got what you got. I saw kids. Look, I always wanted a bike. The first bike I ever bought for myself was when I was 24. That's the first bike I ever got. The first bike. I never had a bike. My mom never got me a bike. And at 24, these kids, all my friends and neighbors, they had bikes when they were like 6. My daughter has had a bike since she was 4. My son had to get his first bike.
But whose fault's that?
No, it's no one's fault. Look, the situation, the circumstances. Now, what I'm saying is, this is one of the reasons why I was like, man, if I was white, I would probably get a bike. You know, if I was white, Santa Claus is white. Maybe he doesn't bring black kids.
Mate, there's a place down in Essex, right? Which is I can't remember what it's called. It's on the coast. It's one of the roughest estates in the whole of the country. It's on the coast, full of like white families. Man, they ain't got a pot to nothing.
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder what colour they'd want to be now to see if they can have a better life.
They wouldn't be black. They wouldn't be. You know, Chris Rock said it the best. He was like, "It's great to be white." There's a guy here, there's a one-leg bus boy in this place who's white, and he wouldn't trade places with me as a black man, and I'm rich. That's what he said. Hey.
Good luck to him. You know what I mean? The thing is, I'm not ashamed of my colour. I'm proud of who I am.
You don't have to be ashamed. We're not saying being ashamed.
No, but I don't even look and think, I want. Mate, the thing is, right, you spend your life wanting. Guess what? You'll never be happy.
Well, you can never be white.
Bob Marley, you said, if you love money are numbers never end.
Nigel, we're not talking about now. We're talking about when he was little. Well, I'm going back. I'm trying to dig into the little boy of Nigel.
But little boy of Nigel would have argued the Rossi. Little boy of Nigel would have argued the Rossi.
This argument ain't bringing, man. What we got, man?
I just want to go on to the last thing. Okay. now we can go into. So what would
I've been waiting all week for this.
You know,
some limp old
you know what? You know what? I think
this
it
is
was
like
really
a Trump
good. Nigel
argument,
just
man. I'm hearing nothing here. You should have helped me prepare your case, bro. Like this ain't going nowhere.
Simon touched on it a minute ago. When he was 15, he saw all these beautiful white girls, and he was like, "Man, if I was white,
Oh no! Whoa! I see the beautiful girls.
You into it now, brother? Hey, Westlife.
Wait. Let me finish, dude.
You know when I was 15, you know who came out? Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown changed the whole complexion of being black because every single woman thought, "Oh, any black man, you're like Bobby Brown." It was a golden era. So I'd gone from loving myself and loving the fact that I was black to almost being worshipped wherever I went because some guy from America went, "Don't be cruel."
Nigel. Okay. What I want to say.
Not cool to you. I was like, "Yeah, man, go on, Bobby."
Nigel. Did you ever date like black girls?
Black girls, yes.
How come you didn't end up with a black girl?
How come you didn't end up with a black girl?
Because my indoctrination. Because of the indoctrination. And this is where I was heading. This is where I was all my point to get to this point.
So basically what you're saying
indoctrination. I've been listen, from when I was little, I've been indoctrinated to believe that white is right. White is right.
You know a guy's like, this is gonna be weak. I'm gonna chew this up and spit it out.
Listen, let me finish. I've been indoctrinated to believe the whole myth of white supremacy from when I was little, from when I started watching and walking around, watching TV from all the like TV programs,
all the superheroes. You know what shocks me about everything?
I can't even build my case. How many
sisters have you got?
Including who? All the family or just my side?
Oh, how many sisters?
Okay, there's
and you're saying to me that you don't know about black strong women, and okay, you've ended up with a white girl.
No.
That was your choice.
It's
your choice, isn't it?
You want to continue? I've got one quick point before you continue as well. If you believe in this white supremacy, then what the hell are you doing with a white girl then? Because surely your place will be below her always.
The thing is, no. And that's the thing. Up until a certain age group, you don't know that you believe in this. Once you cross the threshold of this age group, you realize, oh, I've been done, I've been had. And I think everyone who reaches this, everyone reaches the age where they realize, I've been had. I've been absolutely taken for a ride. And I realize that now. And that's why I would say I ended up with a white girl. Not because I don't find it bad or anything. It's cool and love is love. But I think that the chance that a white girl had with me was higher than a black girl was because of the previous indoctrination that I've been suffering for the whole of my life, the majority of my life.
Which was what?
Wow, white supremacy, white is beautiful, white is right. Go with this girl. Keep the black girls out of the scenes. Keep the black girls away.
You lived in Smethwick. You're surrounded by black girls.
Yeah, but look at them. They were also indoctrinated. Look, when there was a black girl on TV, what kind of black girl was shown? And then every black girl aspired to be that kind of black girl.
Or Grace Jones.
Yeah, they were very rarely showed. And no one inspired to be like those. Shall I tell you why no one inspired to be like those? So I tell you what, who was Mao C? Which one was Scary Spice? Even though she was the attractive, and it's still not the most attractive girl out of all of them. What did they call her? Scary Spice. Just think of the psychology behind that Scary Spice, the black girl, who's not even full black, by the way. Not even full black. Ridiculous. Now look, Grace Jones. This is good. Grace Jones, or who's the other dark black girl? Who's another one? Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell is not. Yeah, these girls are like what most black girls don't like. No one wants to be the darkest of the darkest black girl. Nobody. So when you're like, oh, I like Grace Jones, well, you want that black girl for? Also from the black girls, they were also indoctrinated to make me believe that black girls are wrong. So how can you tell me that I always wanted to be black when I was suffering bombardment from indoctrination from left, right, and center? I rest my case, guys. You know, I always win the argument at the end.
You won the argument. All you've done is confused us, mate.
I'm confused. I kind of get what you are.
You guys are crazy, man.
You've got some good points in there. Like where you kind of win is that around the world, and we've said this on a previous show, and this whole whiter is more beautiful and everything. So that does exist in society. But what you're saying basically is you didn't have a level of an intelligence when you became an adult to have sort of worked out the fact that, you know, that it is a fallacy. Like, you know, you would have got to 18, 19, 20 and met different type of black girls who, like, just even personality wise, because I've suffered that to an extent too. I think everybody does. Like,
I think the problem with what you said there, and I do hear you, man. You got to think again. You got to always, when you talk about things, right, and don't generalize. You got to think of environment. Now, a black girl who's brought up in Scotland, so argument's sake, Dundee, where there's not much of a black people around, is going to have a different mentality to a black girl who's brought up in Smethwick. A black girl in Smethwick's going to probably be streetwise, a little bit rude, a little bit sassy. Black girl in Dundee, she don't know about ghetto, so she's like, "Oh, hello, how you doing?" Ha ha ha. So, you know what I mean? You've got a different environment, which will create a different person. Now, if you'd have met that Dundee girl, if that was the first black girl you met, and she wasn't sassy, she wasn't like one of your sisters with mouthy, she didn't want to fight you, you'd be like, "Oh, this is a different kind of flex." But you wouldn't have met that kind of person. It's an environment. It's where you're brought up. Where I lived, there was probably 5 or 6 black families. There wasn't many black girls there. All the black girls who were there were just pretty much sisters because our parents was all friends. Because obviously black people, you know what I mean? They're like, "Yeah, what are you doing?"
Another important
Fathead
thing.
Tracy, fathead Donna. So it was more of our protection. We protect them. They're our extended family.
Yeah, but
we never looked at the black girls within our section, as anything other than, yeah, man, we've got to look after our people.
Listen to that. The sisters. That's what we call it. That's all they're good as, sisters. They're not good as wives. Why is that?
No, they are, though, mate, because
they're not. No, they're not. They're not.
Plenty of, mate, you're going to get tomatoes thrown at you.
Cupid,
I get what you're saying. Look, your kind of point, just to jump on your point. You kind of right in a way.
Especially statistic. Cupid said that black girls, I think, only 70% chance of finding someone in a dating application compared to their white opposites. 70% chance of getting an appointment. Why does everyone think black girls not good enough?
But this is a very specific part of the subject. So it doesn't, like when you said you won the argument, it covers a very specific part of your argument.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
In this point of it, you're right, but like to say it's a completely big, broad subject, and that what we're talking about is this whole white beauty and that. And what you're talking about, look, black girls were brought up to think either act white or you can celebrate yourself. And there were some black girls out there who would celebrate blackness. You still see them to this day who are unapologetically black. But then, like you say, mainstream media is channeled at white people. Products a lot of time have been channeled to try and, you know, when you got skin bleaching to hair straightening, all these different things that and you know, all the different things that people try and do to become more beautiful, but in the eyes of the Western white girl. That's what it's always modelled round. It's not modelled round frizzy-headed black girls or with afros or whatever it is.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, because obviously our media is Western media, but it'd be interesting to go to. So wait, when you went to Tanzania, what was on in terms of TV?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for that, actually.
What were you seeing on TV? Were you seeing
let me tell you
white people? And
I'll tell you, when I got a couple of the guys aside, they would be like, "Yo, I'm so happy you I was so happy. How did you get the white girl? I want a white girl. I want to come to Europe and get the white girl." That's all they were saying. I was like, yo, all these black African queens here, man, looking good. No, I want a white girl. I need a white girl. And I was like, yo, the indoctrination's deep, man.
They're not bigger, man. That's not just
but mate, the thing is, though, what's the ulterior motive for that? Why do they need to get the white girl? Why do they need to get to Europe?
We're going back in full circle now. They think and been indoctrinated that white people have all the best stuff and offer the best life and safety.
No. What they're
and that's it.
I can get to Europe and I can get.
You can't get a black. Listen, you can't get a black girl in Europe once you get to Europe. They know they're not stupid, man. Every black I've met in Germany, man, they don't date no white girls. I mean, they don't date no black girls. Sorry, they all get white girls in the end and stay here. That's it. Yeah, serious. That's it.
Yeah, that's more of an interesting of a show, that is, as far as I'm concerned. That's a whole show. Because to me, I say, because it covers so many different things. It covers, like you say, dating. It covers about, like, in general, like, I can only speak for America because I heard it the other day, not because I'm obsessed with America, but I heard it on the news, that in America, the black people in general, you know, they would say African Americans carry 10% of the material wealth of their white counterparts in any sense. You know, that's across the board, 1/10. So, like that, again, you can be pretty much like assured that does transpire across to be the same over here, or to some extent the same when we're talking about law and order, people being targeted, the same when it comes to health conditions. It's such a broad brush that we're talking about when we're talking about social injustice and racial injustice and that it's too easy to just try and gloss over it but miss everything, if you know what I mean, because it is like, for us to talk about it, like we talk about a load of things and that, man, but certain things deserve a certain level of respect in it, just because it's such it's not even a heated debate, this one. It's more about where do you stand on this, because like I say, growing up, you two, your growing up was completely different. You like the lens that you're looking through is completely different, and I'm a lot more closer to Nigel in that sense and my upbringing than I am to you. But can
I tell you why I've never ever wanted to be white. I was proud of being black, man. You just don't get it. I was actually proud. I felt sorry for the lighter skinned people, because everywhere I looked, they were trying to emulate. It was always your man, and you know what I mean? There was always trying to dance like us, listen to our music was the coolest. Oh, UB40, which is the closest they could get to reggae. You know, I'm looking out into the world and watching Top of the Pops. The people who were getting the most kudos were the black singers. The ones who lifted the crowd with their voices were the black singers. The music that made people want to dance was the black singers. You know, I loved being black. You know what I mean? I just loved it.
Lunchbox Linford as well on the telly. All the woman looking for lunchbox.
I think it's important to separate the experiences, though. Like now, I love being black too. I'm sure Simon loves being who he is, and you love being. It's important to like adjust your mindset and think, actually, how did I really feel like when I was young? Okay, if you can honestly say, yeah, I did feel like I always wanted to be black, then cool, man, you did well. But I know for a fact many guys are thinking, actually, you know what?
The thing is, I never looked at anybody with envy. I never looked at someone and thought, I want that, because I was just happy with life, man. You just don't get it. You know, back in times, right? If you think about it, back when I was growing up, the best fun I used to get, school holidays, grab a football, we had the field there, me, friends, 7, 8 of us, whatever. We'd be there till 10:30 on the night, 12 hours playing football. There's none of this, materialism, I gotta have the latest bike.
You never sat there you never sat there and talked and was like watch the football match, for example. You Villa fan, innit? Villa. And Villa was pretty good, actually. He used to bring in a few black people, but maybe not so much in the 70s.
I never went to a football stadium until I was in my... First time I went was when I was playing Sunday football, youth football. But I wasn't going to no football stadium because I knew that a stadium, I'd probably hear stuff I didn't want to hear. Now, the problem with me is that if I heard something, I'd have to react. So I was very good at making sure I didn't get into a situation where I had to hear anything.
Okay. You used to look at the football team. Like I remember Arsenal's team when I first started following them. I used to look at Arsenal because of Ian Wright. He was like 1 or 2 black people in the team. Actually, no, there was about 4 black people in the team at that time. I think there was Davis, Ian Wright, Kevin Campbell, and
there were some teams that never had colour.
Yeah, Southampton, for example.
Everton, until recently.
Everton.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, so when you used to watch your team Villa, they were like, I think wasn't West Brom the first team to bring a black...
The thing is, mate, again, listen, different times. You got to remember, all this football on TV, when I was growing up, it was match of the day, mate. But
didn't you ever feel like, man, didn't you ever notice that something was up? Like, man, there's something up here, man.
Grandstand, bro.
Yeah, but what was his name? The guy who used to look like...
There's Lynham.
There's Lynham.
There's Lynham's a classic.
The thing is, I used to see the football teams, and you'd see the ones with black players and the ones without black players, and I'd be like, I want the ones with black players to beat the other ones.
Wimbledon. You always wanted Wimbledon or Swindon to win.
Yeah, because Wimbledon to me was like, yeah, man, they took up some of the boys up from at the end.
The estate.
Made them play football, and you know what I mean. They got and they're bloodying up people's noses, and I love
them. They took everybody out the end. That was the requirement.
When Coventry City topped them in the cup because they had like people like Dave Bennett, Silver Regis, colouring the team. So that's what I'm saying. I was proud to be one of them black people. Yeah, man, it's my people there. And when the Reggae Boys, when they went to the World Cup, when the Reggae Boys, Jamaica went to the World Cup, and when Cameroon went to the World Cup, mate, who do you think my second team was? Jamaica, it was Cameroon. I mean, so
the African team, always on the African team to win.
Exactly. So
but that's like that's like, oh man, we want. We look at them and we recognize that they're kind of representing us. And then you think to yourself, I want to be like them. So it still doesn't really clear things up. Like, obviously, you say you didn't feel like you want to be white. You made it. You was one of the ones who made it out without ever having this thought that there's something up and that maybe you do want to be. Maybe you be better. I'm not saying you want to be.
I saw racism. Don't make me sit here and think that, I never heard anyone and no one ever said anything to me and I never had to give some man bucks in their mouth and I've never been chased from outside the pub by white guys and I've had all that, man, but I never turned around.
Did you ever think to yourself that if I was white, man, I wouldn't do that?
I just didn't care because I thought, all I thought is when I'm older, I'm going to box you up. That's what I used to think.
We ain't gonna get no admissions from Nigel today.
What's funny is some of them guys who did that chasing, I still see them now around the ends.
And they're old.
And you know what they do? They smile at me like, mate, the man's look like time has not been good to them. So, their punishment for being racist is that they look like walnuts at the age of 40 whatever or 50 whatever. Whereas I look young and sweet and beautiful. You know what I mean? So, karma, man.
Yeah, man.
I was going to say, if you guys have been offended by any of this today, we'll apologize. It was a...
No, we're not being offensive. No, don't be offended.
Hard topic. No, not about you guys. Talking about the listeners. It was a hard topic.
I'm saying to the listeners, look, there's nothing to be offended by. I think this has been a brilliant chat, man.
Don't get me wrong, right? There will be people, and I'm not. I think my problem is that you can't tell me that I would have felt like that because I know that I didn't. Yeah, but I'm going to say to you now, there are black people who will have had that thought. There are black people who have that thought right now because they assume that by flicking this switch and being another colour, the unicorns come out and the world goes pink and money falls from the sky. The reality is, that things don't change because you're a different colour.
Yeah, sure. We know that. Yeah. But not when we were younger than 9 or 10. We don't know that.
Man, when you're 9 or 10, you should be enjoying life. You shouldn't be worrying about what colour you are. That's what I'm saying to you. What kind of life did you have that you was focused on your colour at 9 or 10? I wasn't thinking about my colour at 9 or 10.
Cultural identity comes later on in life, or should, if you have the opportunity, if it's forced upon you for whatever. Like, say if you're fleeing war or something in Syria, it becomes your reality.
It's other people who tell you about colour. But when you're a kid, you don't see colour. You just think, oh, yeah, man, why are we going out? We're going, you know what I mean? So for you to be thinking, I need to be like you, it's like, whoa. Mm. Maybe you're old before your time, Wayne.
Maybe. I don't know, man. But yeah, anyway, I'm proud to be black now. Can I say I'm black and proud? So it's all good. Well, I got there in the end, man. Promised land.
The Egyptians, man. The original black people.
Mm.
Pyramid builders.
Guys, it's been a pleasure as usual, man. Si, you got anything to promote, man?
Not at the moment, man. I'm sitting quiet at the minute, but I've got some treats coming soon, so I'll tell you when the time's right.
All right, man. That's good. Nigel,
I ain't got nothing to promote. You got this silly thing going on Friday called Black Friday, and I'm not doing no promotion. So if you want to get better at sales and marketing, you can find me on Love Sales Hate Selling Academy. I ain't doing no Black Friday. I don't believe in Black Friday. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if I sell it cheaper now, what about the people who bought it already at full price? So no Black Friday. But if you do want to get better at sales and marketing, then hit me up on Facebook, send me a DM, and I'll give you a coupon. So these are coupons. There's a couple of coupons available for my course at the moment. So
should have told me that. I'd just give you a shout out on Facebook as well. I would have put it in the comments.
You know what? You know what? All I'm saying is, if you see me in your shop on Friday and you see that I'm black, better give me a discount.
I thought he was going to start singing. And if you see me in your shop Friday, just kick me right out, because I'm on the lift. Welcome back.
Good night, geezers, man.
Yeah, man. You too.